Hey Tommy, I've got a bit of trivia for you. What is the oldest continuous nameplate? In other words, the name of a car in America. And if you're thinking Corvette, you'd be wrong because it's right here. What is it, Tommy?
It is the Chevrolet Suburban, and in this video we are taking a look at a new generation of Suburban because we are standing in front of the 2025.
Yeah, can you believe it? 2025 Chevy Suburban. And you know, Suburban's been around for a few years now, so they've kind of refreshed it. In this video, we're going to show you everything that you want to know about it. We'll go into the hood, we'll go inside, we'll see how much room there is, but let's start with kind of the design changes, and that is, of course, this, Tommy. What do you think of the new front fascia?
Yeah, big improvement to the front end of the Suburban. So they vastly reworked not only the headlights, but the grille design with this piano black finish, in this case on this high country. And then if you have the key dad, if you want to lock it, we also have these new animations in the headlights, which I think looked very neat.
I think we unlock it. Okay.
Well, they're on right now.
There you go.
Well, what they do is they kind of fade on and off, but it's a really kind of cool look on the front end of this vehicle. We also have this new grille with this kind of chrome accents across the center and that large and in charge Chevrolet badge in the front.
So you can get your Suburban starting with 18s, but can you believe what size these are, Tommy? Guess what size those are?
Well, I mean, I thought maybe 21s, 22s.
You are wrong. Those are indeed 24s. Can you believe it? 24-inch wheels. And tires, of course. Now that is a hockey puck of a tire and a wheel, but I got to tell you, I love it. I don't know how much sidewall there is, but we talked to the GM engineer, and he said that they've actually engineered the air suspension so that you can roll on these big wheels and tires without making the ride much worse.
Yeah, and they claim that these Bridgestone lenses really give it a nice, comfortable ride. But yeah, certainly it fits the profile of the vehicle and gives it a great look. We also have a new kind of underglow design to these power retractable running boards, where it's now a continuous diffuse light instead of the individual LEDs. And then as we make our way to the rear, we've got a new tail light design where they've incorporated the small bit up top and the large bit down low. It's flipped over the current one. And then in the high country here, they actually turn white when they're not in use.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And just so that everybody knows that you're in a Suburban, we've now got a big Suburban name written right across the back of it, along with this kind of big piano black piece of applique that also makes the truck look much wider, and square tailpipes, Tommy.
Yep, high country, you know, big 6.2 V8 under the hood, which we'll talk about in a sec. There's another cool feature too, where if you stand behind the vehicle for 3 seconds, it'll lift up the tailgate automatically. But why don't you pop the hood, Dad? We'll talk about the engine changes.
Yeah, now this is not electric, so if you were expecting an electric Suburban, you're going to be disappointed, but if you love internal combustion, I think you're going to love the powertrain. So we still have the 5.3 liter V8 along with the big boy 6.2 liter V8, and of course 3 liter diesel, which now has in its next generation a little bit more power, 10% more power.
Yeah, 305. It's the same engine that the new 3 liter in the Silverado that they've updated. So 305 and 495 pound-feet of torque. So lots of torque out of that 3 liter. But of course, you can still get the 6.2. You can still get in the RST with the performance package. So if you want that V8 Burble, it's very much alive.
All paired with a 10-speed automatic, which we actually love, and of course all-wheel drive with, in fact, a low-range transfer case. This color is really cool, by the way. I love the metal fleck in here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Why don't you hop in on the driver's side, Dad, and we'll show off the interior, because we got tons of changes on the inside.
Hop in, dude.
So, one of the big complaints I think folks had on the pre-facelift 12th gen Suburban was the interior was a little basic, not very premium for the price point. This new one, the focal piece, is a 17.7 inch touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's now got a screen that extends to the full width of the bezel, so it's not just your traditional rectangle, but really big screen standard. You can also, Dad, still get a 9-seater Suburban, bench front seat on the LS with this huge screen, because this screen is standard across the board.
Now, let me show you something really cool. Watch what happens when I hit this little button. Check this out. Look at that.
Yeah, center console slides back. You also have a secret hidden cubby down here, and then slides forward, just like the current one, but we have new leather, new stitching on this vehicle, and the whole dash is actually an inch lower to give you better visibility out the front. Yeah, you got your little center armrest there with your earphones.
Now, let me show you something over here. And of course, Suburbans have always been, and Chevy says continue to be, tow vehicles. So here we have automatic four-wheel drive, or 4 high, 2 high, 4 low, and check this out. This has a trailering package, as Chevy calls it. I call it towing, but a built-in brake controller, which is pretty cool.
Very cool, yeah. Another thing which is cool, Dad, is the new standard digital instrument cluster, 11 inches. And I love this. They've gone to a column shift, gotten rid of the buttons. So column shifter.
You know what that's like?
What?
The old Silverado EV. The new Silverado EV, I should say, that we just had at the office. They've kind of now retrofitted that to their gas engines. And look at this. We have Super Cruise, Tommy.
Super Cruise, yep. So hands-off highway assistant available in LT and RST now, as well as Premier and High Country.
New steering wheel.
New steering wheel looks great.
Very
Nice,
fat.
nice thickness.
That
I
is
like
a
the
big.
thickness.
That has got to be outside of like a Charger or a Challenger. That's got to be one of the thickest steering wheels I've put my hands on recently.
Yeah, I really like that. Of course, we have the digital rearview mirror in this vehicle, so you can go between, your standard and your digital there.
And check this out. You have a little camera in here, so now you not only have a camera on the inside, of course, cameras on the outside, but those are web and app enabled. So if you've forgotten your dog in here, which I hope you didn't, or let's say you've forgotten a package, you can actually go and see what's inside the car. They've also now have these new sensors that check for heartbeat or breathing. So if there is a baby or a kid or a dog in here, the truck will warn you that you've forgotten them. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but it's a nice feature. It'll honk the horn, it'll send you a text. They're still working on the exact notifications, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I think you're missing the big point of this camera system, which is cooler, is that along with the cameras on the outside of the vehicle, if you do get in an accident or if there is a thief that breaks in, you'll have 30 seconds of recording of that event, so you know, and can bring that to whatever authority you may. So that's kind of an interesting feature, kind of like the Sentry Cam from Tesla.
And for those of you who have privacy concerns, it's probably a good thing. But we'll leave that. This is just our first look at the vehicle now. I do love the fact that we have built-in buttons, right? HVAC controls are traditional instead of in the screen. And I love the volume knob, and I love this little feature, Tommy. It's got a little speaker on the inside, so you know that that's what you're doing. And it does nothing else. It's not like one of the Range Rover or Jaguar units that does multiple things. All in all, this is a very comfortable place to spend a lot of time. Should we go in the back seat?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let me jump in there, because obviously this is a big boy in Chevy's fleet. We are looking at, look at this. Captain's chairs, Tommy.
Yeah, High Country is loaded here with the captain's chairs and the 12.6-inch touchscreens in the rear, along with heated rear seats and climate control.
3-zone. Now, I believe you can get a bench seat in the front.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. On the LS, you can get up to 9-seat capability in the Suburban still.
Wow, that's a big family. All right, let me jump in the back, see how much room there is for me. Now, keep in mind, I'm 6'2", so I am rather on the tall side. But, look how I fit. Not bad, Tommy. I've got cup holders. I've got air vents. I've got headroom. I could actually spend some time in here. I've got a USB-C power outlet here. Seats are a little upright, but they all are. Not horrible. I could live back here. Look at that.
Ooh, power folding.
Power folding, yeah.
Yeah, we got the power folding seats in this bad boy. Yeah, it's a very, very big rear seat area. Now, this vehicle does compete with vehicles like the Expedition, right? The full-size SUV class. Let's pop open the trunk here. Let's take a look what's behind the third row. So even behind the third row, you can fit 2 large suitcases. They don't have the total storage capacity. They haven't announced those numbers yet, but lots of space back here.
And of course, power seats.
Yep. So power folding seats, push a button. Those will fold down, fold back up as well. And then, of course, we have a full-size spare tire underneath the rear. I actually don't think it's quite full size. I don't think on 24s you're going to have a...
There's one way to find out.
Well, it might be...
I don't know.
No, that's not a 24. It might be full size, though.
I can't tell what size that is. Probably full size, but not a 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big tire.
That's a big wheel to have as a spare.
In a livery business, of course, there's nothing bigger, is there? The Excursion's gone.
Yeah, it's getting up there. Also competes with vehicles like the Wagoneer, right? Grand Wagoneer.
Yeah, but this is bigger, Tommy.
It's a big vehicle.
It's a big vehicle, yeah. The one thing I'm kind of disappointed about is there's no rear wheel steering, because obviously for such a big vehicle that would make it much easier to turn and park, but maybe in the next generation. But overall, I like what they've done. You know, I'm not a big fan of piano black, but on the outside, I'm not going to see fingerprints on it, so it's not going to drive me crazy. But it looks a little bit more elegant, a little bit more modern, and certainly a little bit more fresh.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below.
And if you want to find out all about the new Tahoe, where should they go, Tommy?
Alltfl.com. We got a video on the TFL Car YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out.
And like I said, pricing not available yet, but this will hit the dealerships, like I said, at the
End of 2024.
At the end of 2024, yeah.
Yeah, so we're still a while
We're doing
out.
some time traveling.
Yep.
All right, see you guys next time. Ciao.